Hey, me and Matt here, and this is Killer Kyle. And this is Killer Kyle, and welcome to Wheels of Fury. And today's episode is going to be a little different. Well, we're all done with the wrestling for now, or whatever. Today we're going to talk about another top. Well, we'll see how this goes. The list. Today we're going to talk about our top arenas, coliseums, centers, domes, whatever.
Places that wrestling takes place, has taken place.
Well, I mean, wrestling, we could talk about sports, like,
Oh yeah,
as well. I mean,
true.
a lot of, and we're not going to tell you, but we already know what number one's going to be. So I guess because we're biased, we're going to talk about, first, Peterborough Memorial Center.
One of quite a few arenas in our hometown.
Oh.
Oh yeah, there's Memorial Center, there's the Everroot Center,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
the Kidsbed Arena, etc., etc. But yeah, Peterborough Memorial Center is quite a popular place to be because they've had a few wrestling events at the Memorial Center. It's the home of the Peterborough Petes,
Yeah.
as well as the Peterborough Lakers lacrosse team.
Oh. Now, when I was growing up on the east side of Ontario, well, the Northumberland County region,
Yeah.
I used to watch wrestling, and they would have where they're going to be,
Right.
and wrestling was quite popular in the Peterborough Memorial Center,
Surprisingly, yeah.
and it stopped for a while, I think.
Yeah, it did stop for a little while, and then WWE has come here,
Twice now.
well, 3 times.
Three times.
Actually,
Yeah.
I think 4 times.
When I moved here in 2016,
Yes.
they came in December when I
Right.
was there. Last year was NXT in February. I was
Right.
there. And then, of course, SmackDown in August.
Right,
So,
yeah. And then there was a couple of times before that. One show I went to at the Memorial Center was a really good show, although, and we had floor seating. Now, where we were sitting was really good. Of course, it was a little far back. So anytime something happened, you get people jumping out of their seats and cheering and whatever, and couldn't really see the ring that well. Now, of course, when I was at the Memorial Center for the wrestling event, this is when Heidenreich was partnered with Animal.
oh wow.
Orlando Jordan was the United States champion. Eminem were together. Randy Orton and The Undertaker had a match. Scotty Duhati and somebody. This was
2003. Then.
about that, yeah.
So, wow.
Yep.
So, anyways, this was actually it opened up on November 6th, 1956.
Yep.
Which is a month older than my mom.
Yes.
So, anyways, yeah. So, I mean...
Yeah, that building, 61, 62 years old.
Yeah, 62 years old.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Because it's a year after my dad was born.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about the Memorial Center is I was there years ago for a Pete's game, and they had seating around the rink, you could say, and then they had a stage. And myself and my dad were on the stage watching the game, and you could actually see the game pretty well. Then they went and renovated the Memorial Center,
Yeah.
and it's still a really nice place. They've changed the seating, of course. They took out the stage. They put in more seating, and their wheelchair section, if you will, is basically you go in the doors and you're like right there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, now I'm afraid of heights, obviously. I probably mentioned that. The fact is, when I went, so I saw Alice Cooper. Now, you have concerts there, too.
Yes.
So, I saw Alice Cooper in 2004, and I got them to actually move me and my friends. They were pissed off at me, whatever, on ground level. So, it actually makes sense to watch it. It's not that high off the ground.
No.
But if you're focused enough, you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So, it was actually still pretty fun. And I mean, there's the rules now where you have to sit up there because of regulations or whatever, but...
Or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Memorial Center has had a lot of bands perform. Someone told me they saw Ozzy Osbourne there. I saw Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Just last year, they had Stone Temple Pilots, Seether, and Default play, so...
Right, yeah.
I mean, Memorial Center also a home show. Like, a lot of arenas have home shows here.
Yes.
Obviously, there's got to be some in the States. However, it's still a great arena.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And to have an arena like that here is actually really nice. Because, like I said, not only do you get to go to see the wrestling events when they come to Peterborough, you got bands that come quite regularly, you got the home show, you got the
Hockey.
Pete's, if you're a fan of the Pete's, or the Lakers lacrosse team, so you got
A lot of
quite an extensive variety of things to do at the Memorial Center, whether it be summer, winter, spring, fall, whichever.
for sure.
Yeah. Boston Garden, an arena that WWE performed at quite a bit. Of course, it was originally the home for the Boston Bruins, and one of those arenas that is quite old. I don't know if it's in existence anymore. I don't think it is. But one of those places that is iconic, you could say.
Yeah. I honestly don't know too much about that arena.
Neither do I.
I'm pretty sure wrestling was there, but I wouldn't know, honestly. I have a friend that did watch a game when she went to Boston for a trip. So, yeah, unfortunately, I myself don't know a lot about it.
Boston Garden was an arena in Boston, obviously, designed by boxing promoter Tex Rickard, who also built the third itinerary of the New York Madison Square Garden. It opened November 17th, 1928, as the Boston Madison Square Garden, later shortened to just the Boston Garden. It outlived its original namesake by 30 years. It was above North Station, train station, which was originally a hub for Boston and Marine Railroad, and is now hub for the MBTA commuter rail and antique trains. The Garden hosted home games for Boston Bruins, the Boston Celtics, rock concerts, amateur sports, boxing, professional wrestling, of course, circuses, ice shows. It was also used as an expansion hall for political rallies, as a speech for John F. Kennedy in November of 1960. Boston Garden was demolished in 1998, 3 years after the compilation of its new successor, the TD Garden.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
So, from 1928 to 1998, Boston Garden was quite a staple in the Boston area, and then was demolished for its successor, the TD Garden.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
We talked about a building that obviously I watched CMLL wrestling and not really sure what else they did, so Arena Mexico.
Arena Mexico.
So, yeah, this basically says here located.
Arena Mexico is an indoor arena in Mexico City, Mexico, located in the Colonia Dictators neighborhood in the I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that.
See? So we have Arena Mexico was located in Crony, Tahoe, which was a neighborhood of Decimo Borough. The arena is primarily used for professional wrestling.
Or Lucha Libre.
Oh yeah, Lucha Libre.
So it's promoted by Comaso Mandal de Lucha Libre, or CMLL. The building is called the Cathedral of Lucha Libre. Arena Mexico has a seating capacity of 16,500 when configured by professional wrestling or for pro wrestling or boxing events. The current building was completed in 1956, built by Salvador Lufereth, owner of CML at the time. Largest arena built specifically for wrestling. The building was used as a venue for boxing competition at the 1968 Summer Olympics and throughout the last half of the 20th century hosted several large boxing events.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see something like that. When I first watched CMLL, it kind of, I don't know, just reminded me of, it was a small arena, and, it was very acrobatic wrestlers. You got the little blue and pink furry costume monkey,
Yeah.
and yeah, just really fun to watch. Different than WWE, and I guess WCW, although Hector Garza was in WCW for a while.
Right.
You had Shocker in TNA, and Strong Man was in TNA, I
Right.
think. So, yeah, it was very cool to see, a company like that.
Yeah. And I mean, the luchadors, and luchadores, mostly luchadors, and CMLL is quite extensive. You got Blue Demon Jr., you got Shocker, you got Pasa Negro,
Yeah, El de Fantasma.
Hill de Fantasma.
I said it's been so long. Oh, Terrible, Heavy Metal.
Right.
There's, well, you got the Japanese wrestlers coming in like Naito
Yeah.
and Jushin Thunder Liger.
Yeah.
There's Tiger Mask. Oh, Maximo.
Maximo, yeah.
And then, of course, you got the Cetas, which are the shorter guys. So, Shocker Ceta, Maximo Ceta, Damon 666. This was very cool to watch back then.
They're entertaining to watch, to say the least.
Yeah, for sure.
And I believe Arena Mexico is the oldest arena in Mexico.
Yeah.
And, well, CMLL is the oldest promotion in Mexico.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So,
A lot of wrestlers like Blue Dragon, or I can't remember his name, but yeah, he was one of the first wrestlers there,
right.
and I can't believe I can't remember.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Blue Panther. I can't.
Well, Blue Panther, yeah.
But anyways, yeah, it was a really good show to watch, and I haven't watched it in years. Of course, they have AAA,
Right.
but that's, I believe, in a different arena.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, Arena Mexico has definitely been one of the best professional wrestling buildings there was.
Oh, yeah, bar none. And to think, like, every time there's an event in Mexico, you can get thousands upon thousands of people to come out and watch for years and years. It just goes to show you how popular lucha libre and wrestling as a whole is in Mexico.
You even had guys like Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. Well, they wrestled in AAA.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure about CMLL. You did have guys like Michael Elgin in CMLL
Right,
for
yes.
a while.
For a little
And
bit,
Super Crazy was there. You had, I think, Psychosis.
I think so, yeah.
But yeah, very good wrestling.
Very good indeed. Ooh, the next one is, again, a fairly historical building that had a lot of wrestling events. Throughout the year, I'd say, late 70s, maybe early 80s, the Philadelphia Spectrum.
Oh yeah. Yeah, one of the famous wrestling arenas too, as well. Like,
Yeah.
WWE was there, I think. Well, WCW must have performed there. And I'm not quite sure about others.
Yeah.
That may be AWA. There's been
Possibly.
there's been a lot of, you get sports there as well.
Oh, yeah. The Spectrum, later known as Core States Spectrum, First Unit Spectrum, and the Wachovia Spectrum, was an indoor arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, opened in the fall of 1976 as part of what is now known as the South Philadelphia Sports Complex. After several expansions of its seating capacity, it accommodated 18,168 for basketball, 17,380 for ice hockey, arena football, indoor soccer, box lacrosse, whatever that is. The last event at the Spectrum was a Pearl Jam concert on October 31st, 2009. The arena was demolished between November of 2010 and May of 2011.
Wow.
So it went through quite a number of name changes. Core States Spectrum, First Unit Spectrum, Wachovia Spectrum, and then only to have it demolished.
Yeah, that's pretty sad, actually. But a lot of them that we're going to talk about have been demolished.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's pretty crazy to have Pearl Jam as our last show and then
Yeah.
a year later have it destroyed.
Yeah, well,
I mean, that happens.
a year or two. Because it says November 2010 or May of 2011, so.
Next, we're going to talk about another Canadian arena, Scotiabank Arena. It's fairly new.
Yes.
So, and this one will be located in Toronto. I thought it was Ottawa for some reason.
So it's Toronto.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
So,
Downtown Toronto.
yeah. There's been a lot of wrestling there, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And,
Of course, before they changed the name to Scotiabank Arena, it was known as the Air Canada Centre
yeah.
for many years.
Which kind of surprises me because now, see, with Toronto, they changed the Air Canada Centre to Scotiabank Centre.
Yep.
You've got fucking Molson Amphitheater is now Budweiser Amphitheater.
Skydome.
It's
became the
fucking
Rogers
Rogers Center. It's still the Skydome to me, damn it. Why are we fucking changing the fucking arenas? Like, leave them alone. You can revamp them, but don't fucking change the name. That's history right there. You called it the Air Canada Centre. Now you want to call it Scotiabank. Okay, that's fine with me. But you changed the fucking Skydome to Rogers Center. It's a Skydome. It always has been a Skydome, but for some reason, you fucking changed it. And now you got this. I didn't even know about this. I thought we just had a new arena, but nope. We have the Scotiabank Arena that was the Air Canada Centre. What next? What next do you want to change?
Yeah.
But Scotiabank Arena is pretty good too.
Yeah.
You have a lot of great wrestling.
A fantastic. The Air Canada Centre, Scotiabank
But
Arena.
yeah, it's kind of I can't see.
The Scotiabank Arena, formerly the Air Canada Centre, is a multi-purpose arena located on Bay Street in the South Core District of downtown Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It is the home of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Toronto Raptors, the Toronto Rock,
Oh.
the Toronto Marlies, the Raptors 905, the NBA G League, and occasionally games, Toronto Phantoms of the Arena Football League. Yeah. The arena is owned and operated by Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment Ltd. The same group of owners, both the Leafs and the Raptors, as well as their respective developmental teams, and is 61,780 and a half square meters in size. In 2008, the Scotiabank Arena was the 5th busiest arena in the world and the busiest in Canada. It is also the most photographed location in Canada on Instagram, according to BuzzFeed. Scotiabank Arena is connected to Toronto Union Railway Station, Subway Station, and bus terminal via the path. Scotiabank Arena has, from its initial design to completion, revolutionized many concepts, including in new arenas and stadiums built since then. These features include luxury suites, accessible on the ground floor, splitting the main scoreboard into several sections, rotating all sponsor signage in the bowl at once. The events that disallow commercial advertising and multiple restaurants in and out of the main area of the building.
That's crazy. Because you look at the arenas and it's like, well, that sounds more like a mall.
Sort of, yeah.
Jesus.
And, like, is one of the biggest arenas in Canada.
Wow. That's cool.
At 61,700 and a half square feet, or square meters, sorry, or 665,000 square feet.
Wow.
So, yeah. I'm not exactly sure what the size of the Sky Dome Rogers Center is, but for, like, basically, Scotiabank Arena and the Sky Dome or Rogers Center are your two biggest arenas in Canada.
Well, it's Toronto, so I mean, and capital of Ontario, no less. I mean, you had SummerSlam
Yeah.
here, like, I mean, well, when it was the Air Canada Center.
Oh yeah, there was a SummerSlam here, or there. There was a Unforgiven, I think,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
where John Cena
And
Edge
Edge.
had that TLC match.
You had that, you had Big Show versus McMahon's in the steel cage, or Hell in a Cell.
Right.
You know, I wish I would have went to that, but of course that didn't happen. I think I had a couple TNA events,
I think so.
so
And I believe it was at the Air Canada Center where Trish Stratus had her last match.
yes, that's right.
So,
Crazy.
kind of goes to show you some of the history of the Air Canada Center in pro wrestling.
Yeah, one day I'll go there.
Now we go to an arena that I would say is probably the most famous arena in the Texas area
Oh yeah.
was the home of
Well, the
World Class
McDonald's-
Championship Wrestling
World class, yeah.
and USWA.
Yep.
As yes, it was the home of the infamous rivalry between the Von Erichs and the Freebirds, the Dallas Sportatorium.
And it's just one of those things where you grow. If you're from Texas, you want to become a wrestler, and that's where you fucking go.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You had Stone Cold Steve Austin go there as a fan, and then later on perform at the Sportatorium.
Right.
You had Mark Calloway as Mean Mark Calloway and the Punisher.
Yeah.
You know, you had even Cactus Jack. Even
Yeah, Mick Foley as Cactus Jack Manson.
yes,
At that point in time, and then when he went to WCW, he dropped the Manson off his name and just became Cactus Jack.
and it's funny because I didn't know that. Like I knew Mick was in his 30s when he was in WCW and well, actually no, WWF. So I didn't know that he was wrestling in the mid 80s.
Well, yeah, but you even had, like, of course, mentioned the Von Erichs, the Freebirds, Iceman King Parsons,
Yeah,
Gentleman Chris Adams,
yeah. Gino Hernandez, Ric Flair,
yeah,
the Great Kabuki,
Great Kabuki, yeah,
Harry Hart,
Missing Link,
Missing Link,
Skandor Akbar,
yes.
that's the name I was trying to think of.
Oh, holy shit. He's right there. He had the red beard and outfit.
Wild Bill Irwin?
Yes, Wild Bill Irwin.
Wild Bill Irwin. Several others.
Oh yeah, King Kong Bundy.
King Kong Bundy, yes.
When he had hair.
Yeah.
You know, several others, of course. And it's just one of those, you know, shows that introduced us to those guys, I'm sure. Jake Roberts,
Yes.
you know, he was there for a while.
Yeah.
You know, and then of course
Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett was there.
Billy Joel Travis.
I'm not quite sure about Stan Hansen.
I think so, for a little bit.
Yeah, but yeah, there it is. I mean, it's rich in wrestling history.
Their history of wrestling.
Yeah, in Texas, you know.
Oh, yeah. So, the Sportatorium, located in downtown Dallas, Texas, was a barn-like arena used primarily for wrestling events. The building, which stood at 1,000 South, I guess, Industrial Boulevard, or the intersection of Industrial Boulevard and Cadis Street, had a seating capacity of approximately 4,500. There is a lot of information here. I'm not going to go through it all, but just kind of a overall rundown. Built in 1934 by Cox Fence Company, the original Dallas Sportatorium was constructed in the shape of an octagon and seated approximately 10,000. Its inaugural wrestling event, promoted by Burt Willoughby, took place on December 9th, 1935. Willoughby promoted wrestling at the Sportatorium until 1940, when the company was bought out by its former concessions manager, Ed McLemore. In 1948 until 1966, the Sportatorium was also the site of the Big D Jamboree, a weekly country music showcase similar in format to the Grand Ole Opry and Louisiana Hayride. Portions of the Jamboree were broadcast nationally on the CBS Radio Network. The Sportatorium was partially destroyed by a fire on May 1st, 1953, in what was rumored to be an act of arson by a rival wrestling promoter. It was quickly rebuilt at the same location as a rectangular venue and reopened on September 22nd of that year, billed at the time as the $1 Million Sportatorium. The arena also held boxing events and concerts featuring up-and-coming rock stars over the years, very much in the same manner as the Los Angeles counterpart, the Grand Olympic Auditorium, did during his time frame. Anything else of interest? During wrestling matches, the heel wrestlers came out of the northwest aisle between sections B and C, while the baby faces came out of the aisle on the southwest corner.
Oh, wow.
Or sections J and A. The broadcast studio was set up adjacent to the heels locker room, and an overhead section was later added for wrestling announcers to call the match.
And you know what's interesting is that the Freebirds are one of the few wrestling stables to come out to music,
Yes.
which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, for that period of time, I don't know whether it was, they thought, a lot of times one of the wrestlers would already be in the ring before the match started, and then the other wrestler come out and get in the ring, do the introduction, and then start the match. So I think that they didn't have music at that period of time, because by the time you saw the match, and you already would have had one of the competitors in the ring and then have the opponent come out, so there really wouldn't have been much point to it. One thing I distinctly remember about watching some World Class Championship matches in the Sportatorium was you had a lot of the fans sitting by ringside, and you watch WWE, TNA, CML, whatever the case may be. There's a barricade there, and it's fairly high and whatever. But for the matches they had at the Sportatorium, all they had around the ring, between the ring and the fans, was just a thin just a piece of rope going all the way around the ring. That was it.
Yeah.
And I remember watching a table for three with Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Sergeant Slaughter, and I believe Nikolai Volkov. And he was saying that he spent a bit of time wrestling, World Class Championship Wrestling in Dallas, and when you came out of your dressing room, came down the aisle to go to the ring, the fans were like right there, like as close as Matt and I are to each other right now. Mm-hmm. That's how close the fans were to the wrestlers when they came out. Now, if you're a baby face, you know, you might get high fives, hugs, kisses, whatever. If you're a heel, well, you never really knew. And Hacksaw said, man, any time I came out to the ring, I was always nervous about, somebody hitting me or somebody wanting to jump me or whatever. And he said this to somebody, and they said to him, well, take something to the ring with you. And he was looking around and he's like, oh, well, okay, there's a piece of wood over here. Why don't I use that? And that was the birth of the 2x4.
Exactly.
What started out as him essentially carrying something to the ring to kind of make sure he was protecting himself, essentially, going to the ring when he wrestled in Dallas with World Class, ended up being a routine thing for him, part of his character, if you will.
For sure.
It opened in 1935, was renovated in 53, and then was demolished. Well, it closed in 98 and then was demolished in February of 2003.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Huh.
And I think one of the big things about it is when they weren't doing wrestling events at the Sportatorium anymore, nobody was really taking care of the building and looking after the building, so the building became run down and beat up and stuff like that. And then I guess in 2003 they were just finally like, nobody's gonna buy the building, nobody's bought the building, we don't know what to do with it, let's just destroy it and get rid of it.
For sure.
It's unfortunate because it's a really big piece of wrestling history, but at the same time it's like,
Yeah.
if you don't have anybody taking care of it and you don't know what to do with it, you could either keep it standing and see how much longer it lasts, or just demolish it, clear it out, and then maybe at some point something will go in its place. But yeah.
Alright, so this has been part one of our episode, I guess.
Right.
And yeah, we'll be right back with part two. And yeah, there it is.